Here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
Guys, welcome to episode 78 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
What's up, what?
You know my guy over here.
And that fool blazer, Ramon.
On the other end, we have... And together we form...
Insensitive culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
Make sure you check it out, homie Dave. We fucking missed you last week, man.
Shit, son, I missed y'all too.
Word, man.
It felt really weird, yeah. Just Tuesday, like knowing that it was going on, dude. And I was fucking working. It sucked, dude. I hated it.
No, we had a good time with my boy D Palmer.
No, I listened. I heard it was.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
He's looking at it like,
I just gotta say, my absolute favorite part was Johnny defending the James Gunn tweets before pulling up the James Gunn tweets. Dude, those were wild. Fucking, I was losing it, bro. I was like, nah, they weren't that bad, but let me read them real quick. Diddling little kids and shit. I was like, yo, son, what y'all doing over there? I leave for 1 week and this is what the fuck happens?
Yeah, that was a huge miss.
That was all right, though. It was funny. That was it's good, but
I was like, oh shit, but he really did a good job on Suicide Squad, so we're gonna
give him a pass. Here you go,
we're
sir.
gonna ignore that this happened. We should have deleted that shit from the episode.
Nah, it was funny.
No, it was good. Of course, I don't delete shit off of that. No, but that was damn. I forgot about that.
Word.
Whoa,
the audience didn't.
If you guys didn't catch last week's episode, you really gotta catch that shit. That was a good one, though. That was a good one. I got a lot of good responses from the Luis Guzman too on socials. Yo, I don't know who they were referring to, but they were laughing a lot at the impressions. I'm thinking possibly Donald's impression.
There were some good ones in there. No, I heard a couple. Both of you guys were doing good. They weren't perfect, but they were really good.
Let's hear yours.
I don't have one.
They weren't perfect.
I don't have
Fuck
a Luis
you, Dave.
Guzman yet.
No. Yeah,
I'll practice.
That's good.
Oh man, let's start this off with a question. I think one that we don't really have to be too prepared for, but it should pop right into your head. But
okay,
what is a movie that traumatized you as a kid? We might have touched on it in the past, and if you guys need a moment to think, I can go first.
Go for
it. I had two movies that traumatized me as a kid. One was Child's Play.
Mm-hmm.
Because
easy.
Because I had a My Buddy doll that I used to love. That doll. It was actually my buddy, and then after watching Child's Play, it was just fucking sitting in the corner, just staring at me and shit. So that freaked me the fuck out. And then at some point, I don't know how the fuck we got one, but there was an actual like Chucky doll.
Who would buy that? Why would you have that? That shouldn't even be like sold anywhere. That's so stupid, dude. I would not.
Yeah,
the actual thing that could murder you. No,
the actual Chucky doll,
right?
With like the murderous look on it and shit.
What was the Chucky dolls? The name of the doll.
Good Guy Dolls.
The Good Guy. That's what.
Yeah,
it was.
Good Guy Dolls. Yep. And then the second one was specifically like, for whatever reason, I remember watching Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, and finding it like funnier than the rest, because it honestly was. There were certain scenes and stuff that was whatever, but I don't remember that really like messing with me. Jason definitely was one of the Friday the 13th series was definitely one of those that used to mess with me. And if I heard that, like, I couldn't watch it as much as a kid. But Michael Myers, Halloween, and it was specifically the one with Paul Rudd. It was specifically the one with Paul Rudd that fucked with me. The reason for it was
forget he was in.
Yeah, I want to say it was The Curse of Michael Myers. I think it was like part 5. And remember, he played the little boy who grew up from the original one who was babysitting, but he grew up, and so he was an older man by that point. But there was a scene in that one Wait, was it that one? That one I think I enjoyed, but there was one specifically I can't remember, but it was the niece. I remember her niece was a little kid. It was a little girl, and in the beginning she woke up. It was like thundering, and she was walking through the house, and at one point she walked past like a window, and the lightning came through the window, and you saw his silhouette behind the curtain. Mm-hmm. And he didn't come at her, or nothing, but just like that alone, I was just like, oh shit. So then it made me like scared of curtains and shit. Like, yo, for real though, yo. Yeah. I promise you, even like, I was gonna say to this day, but it doesn't. Obviously, like I know it's random people like wearing a mask and stuff, but if I go through like a haunted house or anything like that. Like everything, like, oh, it's jumping out, like, oh, whatever. You see somebody like with a Michael Myers mask, and I'm just like a little bit like, all right, bro, yo, relax.
Is this it?
Yo, relax. No, it's not. It's not how I'm gonna go swinging.
So is he? That fucking cleaver he's casting into your neck.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna hit his ass though. If my hands break on impact, then I know, like, fuck, this is the real one.
He's like cement, bro. You can't fuck with that.
You can't kill crazy. Y'all got one yet? You had to know something that traumatized you.
I do. And in particular, it was, so I know you mentioned Freddy, and this wasn't even the first Freddy movie. Like, I watched the first couple Freddy movies as a young kid, and, you know, they were scary, just gory and creepy. But the third one, the Dream Warriors, where, like, it was like the team of kids they were in like a mental institution, and like they had to like gang up against Freddy, you know, in like the dream world. And it was the one where, if you remember that chick, she got like Freddy's arms came out of the TV, wrapped around this chick, and fucking pulled her into the TV head first and fried her shit. But like there was a scene in that movie where like they were in the mental institution in the middle of the night, and like I don't remember exactly how Freddy did it. He like took control of this one kid and like cut his arms and his legs and pulled his muscles out. And he was walking this kid like a marionette puppet through this hallway, like half asleep, just like blood pouring out of his shit, dude. And it terrified me. Like hospitals, I couldn't fuck with hospitals for ever, dude. Like I still, like if I have to stay overnight in a hospital, I'm waiting for this kid to come walking by my room just with his muscles out and shit, dude. Like it literally, to this day, like I don't even like to think about it because it was that fucking scary, bro. It was if you ever get the chance to watch that, like as an adult, trauma. I've watched it as an adult too, and it's still scary as a bitch too.
I never noticed. Like I remember from the original movie, I always remember that scene where he like comes out of the waterbed, like sucks him in, and then water and then blood,
like gushes
pouring out. I never even realized that was Johnny Depp that got sucked in there. I know now that he was in like the original one, and I know that it was, but for whatever reason, I didn't put two and two together. That it was that scene.
No idea.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. No, that was like, and I read actually a little thing about that where like
early
Johnny Depp went to that audition with someone else, like just drove them there, and I forget who it was. Like the casting director, someone's daughter was on site and saw Johnny Depp and was like, "That dude's hot. You should get him to do it." And then he fucking did it. And
that was before
like, that
Jump
launched
Street?
Johnny Depp, dude. I think so. 84?
Yeah, it was his. I want to say it was his acting debut,
or maybe at least his big screen debut. But like, I don't think he was acting at all, from what I remember.
Yeah, 84 was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Wow, I'm usually never right. I'm usually within like a year or two.
That was a year after I was born.
What was Jump Street?
21 Jump Street was...
I can't imagine it was before 84.
87.
80, okay.
Yeah.
So
no, it's his first credited movie.
This little girl launched Johnny Depp's career.
That's wild.
That was his first credited movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, right?
Nice.
Just going there.
Right?
Word. Just going there and it's just be like...
Well, that's what happens when you're just a fucking... I don't know, Hollywood hunk or whatever the fuck you called.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what you were gonna say.
Heartthrob,
like,
there you go.
Yeah, Hollywood heartthrob.
There you go.
It's better than calling him a Hollywood hunk.
A sexy
Word.
ass dude.
Much better.
It's
Sexy ass Johnny
Sexy
Depp.
ass Johnny Depp. That's what you
Show
get, you
title.
sexy
I thought he was
ass
gonna
Johnny
go racial with it. That's what happens when you're a cute ass white boy.
Depp.
Nah,
Could have gone either way.
it don't matter. You're a
As
cute
long
dude,
as you're good looking.
you're gonna fucking score
Yeah.
in Hollywood
You going
with
fuck?
minimal acting chops.
Minimal
you
effort.
you gotta have some acting chops, but not as much.
Which is why, and I keep
But that's
saying it,
typical
but
for anyone.
which is still mind-boggling about fucking Pete Davidson, but we won't go on about that. Oh man, but more power to the man.
Word.
Even the small scene he had in Suicide Squad was still like, I was still
I
in
was
that
good
fucking
with it.
movie.
Yeah,
For sure.
you got to check.
Mhm.
Word.
Residual.
What about yours, Johnny?
This one's hard because I wasn't allowed to watch any type of scary
true.
shit growing up. And
I mean, you could be traumatized by.
yeah, so there was, I mean, I won't say traumatized. Again, I grew up really rational and logic based. So a lot of the things I was like, well, that's not real. But
Wait, weren't you afraid
but
of
when
your
you were
closet
really
or
young,
something? Wasn't there?
Yeah,
Wasn't there
he
a
was
scary
afraid of his
closet story? What?
It was, the mannequin. The mannequin.
yeah, there
in,
was a mannequin in the closet.
It's pretty logical.
I mean, so
Jeff.
yeah, so that's where I'm going. When I was like that young at those
Right.
times, there was definitely. I would say that there was more again because I didn't watch full films. There would be like little clips that I was either aware of because they were popular or because I just happened to like see them at the time. Like for instance, like Poltergeist, right? The Poltergeist I think was kind of impactful in me, and then the they're here.
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
another one.
Definitely was a creepy thing to me that like I knew about it. I never seen Poltergeist. I don't think to this day have seen the full movie.
I don't think. I
But
have
anytime
either.
I've seen like static on the TV or whatever as a kid, like it would just hairs on the back of your neck type
Like,
shit.
That's another
Freak
one.
out.
Yeah, that's another one.
Definitely
Hearing
Chucky.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw Chucky more. I mean, whatever it came out like 87, I think, and then I probably saw it like 89 or something at Swerve's house, like on VHS. So
88.
88. So yeah, I probably saw it at 89. I would have been like 8 or 9 years old at that time. It was a little creepy, but I think I was old enough at that point that like I could kind of understand that wasn't, like my dolls wouldn't really come to life. And especially because of the beginning with all the witchcraft stuff, I'm like, that's phony because the Bible says.
Right.
But
Sounds like one of those turn the dial animal things.
Right.
The Bible says. Ooh.
This one's not really a scary movie, but it was a movie I saw a lot as a kid, and it would always be at the end of Howard the Duck when they're in the fight scene, and the guys like the line that always would stick in my head and still does to this day is when he's like, "If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen."
That was scary.
It always freaked me the fuck out when I was a kid. I don't know why, but like his eyes, I think would get like really big and shit.
Oh,
So
shit.
that's
That
probably
sounds
like
scary.
the most like freaky thing that I remember as a kid. But the other stuff was always just like a highlight. I didn't see these movies, but I knew that they would be scary.
Yeah.
Yo, special shout out to the boat scene in Willy Wonka, where it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Psychedelic
Like,
scene?
yeah. Like as a kid, like that song was very haunting. Like why? Where did that come from? And the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, flying
Those were
monkeys, I
pretty
remember
fucking
that.
scary as a kid. I mean, a little kid, that was one of the first movies like I would rent from the library back in the day, and I remember just being like, oh shit,
Like,
dude.
whoa.
Like they could just come down and snatch me up like that. Fuck.
Now we had a descrambler because I needed a little bit more to scare me than that.
Spice
Yeah.
Channel. Same.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of him. 3D
Yeah.
titties.
Scared something.
Man. That's white snow in the middle of the night, for those of you who are old enough to know,
Back in the day.
at some point back in the day, yes, when we were younger, you would have your TV on at night, and after
A certain time.
a certain time,
programming
whatever
and stuff.
whatever it was, there would literally be like, like there would be an announcement saying like
They'd play
we're
the
now
national
cutting off
anthem.
the broadcasting. That's true. Yeah, they play the national anthem, and then everything just goes to white static noise, just a. And if you've ever seen Poltergeist, you know that the little girl disappears in this house that has been
It had to be
some
before
weird stuff has been
infomercials,
going
right?
on.
I would think
Yeah,
so.
I
yeah.
then
think
they
so.
figured out that
I
they
thought-
could just
I thought they
sell that
did-
blank airtime to infomercials.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I would watch it like a dumbass.
Yeah.
I used to love that shit, bro. Ronco electric food dehydrators and the rotisseries, all that shit, bro.
I
would
still
fuck with all that.
quote that we said it and
Forget
Forget
it.
it. Hell yeah, we know that shit. I say that all the time when I'm cooking. I'm like, I'm just gonna set it and forget
Word.
it.
Yep.
Fucking Ronco.
But yeah, so that white noise was pretty common. So you wake up in the middle of the night after watching that movie and you hear nothing but.
Yep.
You're like, oh fuck! Like I don't want to get up and turn this off either.
You're gonna get sucked into the TV
because the little girl, got sucked into the TV, and all you hear is her screaming and within like the, like mom, yo, that shit is haunting.
Yeah.
That and the lady that they brought to help get her out was that Carol Ann. Her and that little, I don't know, her voice too was just scary as fuck.
See, again, I never seen
You know
this
what I'm
movie.
talking about?
Hell no. I don't,
Yeah,
all I
he
know
just-
is
he's like,
the
hell no, I
highlights.
watching
You
that
gotta watch
scary
it.
shit, bro.
You gotta watch.
I
You gotta
watching
watch
that
it.
scary
I
shit.
want. I've been wanting to watch it. I've been wanting to watch
I'll
it
watch
again.
scary
Yo.
shit.
But that movie, you at least know. I know it's a whole side conversation. You at least know about the curse of Poltergeist, right? Of like the actual movie.
Wasn't weird shit happening?
A lot of
Ooh.
weird shit
I think I've
happening,
heard
and
of
like
this,
2 or
yeah.
3.
Like in real
like
life
that.
as they were filming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little girl died. And a couple other people
Struck by
died. And
lightning
like
or something? What was something weird?
I thought she was sick.
Oh, it could have been.
I thought she was sick. Somebody did like
Oh
it was
my
something
God.
weird. Like someone else got
Some
struck
freak
by lightning.
accident.
Another one was like in a car accident. Like it was just like cast members were dying.
Mm-hmm.
But what's his name? Who played the father? Coach from Coach.
Oh yeah, fucking. What's his
Nelson?
name? I only remember.
Yeah,
oh,
Judd Nelson. There we go.
No, not Judd Nelson.
Not Judd Nelson.
Craig
T.
T.
Nelson.
Nelson.
There we
Yeah.
go. Craig Nelson. Yep.
I only knew his coach name for a
Coach.
second. I was like, Hayden?
Coach is
Yeah,
a
from
great
Coach, yo.
Hayden?
Coach is a great
Coach is a great
It is.
throwback
show.
show.
It is.
That was funny.
It was funny.
I liked Coach so much that
Ooh,
as soon as
should put that on
SpongeBob
the
came
list.
out, yeah,
That's
there you
on the
go.
Joyce list.
As soon as
choice list.
SpongeBob came out, I knew right away that
You're like,
Patrick
yo,
was Dauber
that's-
from Coach.
Who's Craig T. Nelson?
No, Dauber actually did Patrick.
He's like, hey, SpongeBob.
Hey, SpongeBob.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yo, there's only
That's a class.
one
That is
guy in this
him?
world that has that
Okay,
voice. Yeah,
cool,
that's
cool.
Dauber.
I always
100%.
assumed that it was like, oh, that guy sounds like Dauber, but I never knew that
Yep.
it actually was him.
No, it was him. But
The
yeah,
other,
that,
the other
just
like
that-
slapstick guy that was in that show, he's somebody's father, right? Like he's a
Brother or something, right?
oh, that's who it
what's
is.
his
He's
face?
Dick Van Dyke's brother.
Oh, Dick Van Dyke's brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Jerry Van Dyke.
Yep.
You're right.
Jerry Van Dyke.
He's
They look
funny.
they look pretty
funny.
similar.
Yeah, just a tall, skinny version and the short, chubby version.
Dude, a good show for you and Joyce. Dude, do you remember Yes Dear?
I do. I liked Yes Dear. I don't know if she's
Yo,
ever
Yes
seen
Dear
that show.
was funny.
That was a
It
funny
was
show.
really, really funny.
I can't remember. Yes, dear.
Bro, Yes Dear.
That was with,
with,
the dude that who worked at like a security guard on the WB
yeah, he
lot
was
or
a security
something
guard
like
on
that.
the Yep, yep.
Oh yeah. I remember that guy.
He's been in a lot
That was a
of
really
shit.
great show.
He
Yeah,
has been.
yeah.
What's his name?
He was on Guts. Remember, like he was
Anthony
the
Clark.
host of Guts. No, that's the main
No,
dude.
the main dude. I'm
Oh,
talking
you're
about
talking about
O'Malley.
Michael
Yeah,
O'Malley.
Michael
Yeah.
O'Malley's been in a bunch of shit.
Yo, shout out to Yes Dear, man.
Word, that's a good one.
Can we
That
get
is a
that?
good-
Can we get that on the Plex?
Oh wow,
That is
Billy
another good
Gardell
one.
was in that.
Yeah, he was another security guard on the
That's
lot
right.
with
That's the guy from Mike
Mike
and Molly,
O'Malley.
right?
yeah.
Yep.
Nice,
Yep.
good for
And
them.
those new commercials.
And
I love our
Charity.
segue.
That's right. Commercials now. I feel so bad.
love our
when I see
segue
someone
from,
in a bad commercial that I know is famous.
He's got the mustache.
And I'm like, dude,
Oh, those
you're
are
like,
horrible.
Why are you
that's what
doing
your
this?
agent got for you? Like, that's not
Yeah.
like, it's cool to be in commercials now, right? Like, back in the day, they would only do commercials like in Japan and China and stuff like that. Now it's fine to
TV
be in
shows,
like
too.
regular commercials and to be on TV, right? But it's always when you see them do that, like, that's not the commercial you really want to be doing, bro.
This isn't a Super Bowl ad.
Yeah, that's.
I forgot. Yeah, a lot of people been doing some real fucked up ones lately. A lot of fucked up
Pandemic,
commercials.
bro. The pandemic's hitting everyone's pockets. They're
Who
like,
was
"Guys,
it?
you
It was
need to
a
get that money."
it was a rapper, like a fairly recent rapper. I remember that was doing like some sort of, I want to say Master P oh no, it was Romeo. I think it was his
Ooh,
son.
Romeo.
Where he was doing like a commercial for some sort of school, and it was extremely low budget, like a PBS commercial,
Oof.
Oh,
where he was like rapping a tune. I'm like, bro, where is your career gone? I thought he was like jumping into movies too. I don't know, but they're filthy rich anyway because they all got into owning businesses and shit.
Yeah.
So
Smart.
fuck
they
it.
got like franchises and shit, right?
Yeah. Everybody Loves Raymond is another good one.
Ooh,
You can throw on that
I
list.
feel like I've definitely thought. So for those of y'all that don't know why we're throwing out these random sitcoms, Joyce watches a lot of, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but Joyce watches a lot of like comedies in the background as she's working, either like work or around the house or just like doing shit. And I'm just like really tired of hearing all of the lines from The Office, Friends, Big Bang Theory. And I can go,
The same shows.
It's just when you've seen the entire season, and there's a lot of these shows are like 8-10 seasons long, and they just continue, and they go on loop and loop and loop. And I know so many of these jokes already. I have definitely not seen all of the episodes of every one of these shows, but I've seen so many of them. I feel like I know them all. And I've mentioned on this show multiple times, I'm not really a fan of watching shit over and over. I don't like
Yeah,
repetition.
Or even
I'm
over
not
once.
huge on that either.
So if y'all got ideas for sitcom live audience comedy shows that can play in the background of my house that are if they're available on streaming services, much better than having to somehow find them on Plex.
Right.
But because a lot of these shows, like I was talking to the guys earlier today about that 70s show. It's literally nowhere. You can't find it anywher. It was on
because of
Netflix, I
hype.
think, last year, and then they took it off because of David
was for a
Masterson,
while.
whatever, Danny Masterson.
Danny
Yeah.
Masterson.
Danny
yeah.
Masterson.
They took, no one knows for sure, but apparently it seems to be because of him, and nobody wants to stream this fucking show no more.
Yeah, because he gets money. He gets paid if this show gets
Yeah.
streamed, right? Fuck everybody else.
Can they just blur them?
Right?
What's Mila Kunis gonna do? How's she gonna feed her children?
Bro, she's conserving her water by not showering.
Don't even get me started on that.
I listened to that clip.
Segue.
I listened to that clip, and I agree that you should shower, right? But she did say, and it's something that I think is funny as fuck, I've never heard anyone say before. She says she washes her pits and her slits. And that's really the most important thing. If you're washing all the slits
Yeah.
and you're washing your pits, does it matter that your boobs are not getting their germs off of them? I don't know that you're that stinky if your pits and your slits are getting washed. You're probably not stinky at all.
You heard it here, folks. Johnny
Pits and
is
slits. Is that the episode title? Pits and slits?
pits
Okay.
and slits.
All right. Bookmark it.
Bookmark it.
I'm not condoning this activity. I'm just not dogging her.
Sure.
I'm just not dogging him.
I get you. No. I didn't look too deep into it, but obviously, like, I did hear that it was taken extremely out of context. Like they weren't saying like, "Hey, don't shower." Like
Right.
it's not necessary.
Right.
But they were saying like, "Yo, yeah, like I don't have my kids like unless they get like physically dirty, like visible dirt on them. It's not important.
Kids
Like it's
aren't-
not
are
important for us
different,
to
too,
shower every day."
They're not getting like BO and shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And that was their whole thing. Which is like, yeah, I mean, if it's not,
I don't get the whole like.
I still shower every day.
I
But
definitely shower
I get
every
what they're
day.
saying, yeah.
And I think they said that they do. They just don't wash their everything. And I've heard this shit as well from. I mean, this is slightly different, but I've heard from like Pharrell and a couple other of these quote unquote vampire celebrities that don't age,
Yeah.
and they talk about like not overwashing your face. They say that, and to always take cold. They never take warm or hot showers. It's always cold, which I can't
I'm
do.
gonna be so old and wrinkly.
Yeah. I guess that's supposed to like shock your nerves and
tighten
system
up.
to tighten up all the time. I guess I don't know. That shit makes no sense to me. But I just don't fall in line with the whole like organic side of things where they're like, oh, you don't wash those germs away from your body. Like those are good for you. Shut the fuck up.
Ew, I don't want them shits on my pillow and shit. It's gross.
Yeah.
I'm good on some most of that. You know, I wash my face, I wash my pits, I wash my balls, I wash my ass. We've talked about shower etiquette on this show already.
Etiquette,
what we do
Multiple times.
And a majority of you motherfuckers don't even wash your legs anyway, and water running down your legs
does not wash your legs. No,
does not count.
Your feet is stink.
Whatever. Your feet are dirty as fuck. No, but the cold shower, I have heard about that. I don't know about it. Like
I don't know
about like not washing your face, whatever. I hear that it is better for you to take a cold shower because it wakes you up and,
that's how you
all
get
this
acne.
shit. And and then at night if you take a warm shower, then you know that's relaxing, soothing, helps you get a better sleep. But in the morning, you take that cold shower, it wakes you up, and you're more energized for the day. That's what I've heard. But
I've heard that.
Either way, I do have another question that I don't think we had to do any kind of prepping or anything like that.
Nice.
But we've been getting a lot of traction on our socials in regards to like these comic book related questions, like movies that have been adapted into, or comic books that then later were adapted to movies and all of that stuff. So, so my question, and I probably should have waited till we had Rocco on the show or something. But
it's gonna be deep.
like, does a not necessarily, but like, does a comic book movie have to be comic book accurate?
Ooh.
Right? Ooh. And I think the second part is like, does it have to be comic book accurate or?
Yeah.
The whole
and if so, if you feel like
after us.
Yo, lynch us. We're gonna get lynched.
Does a Hollywood movie have to be accurate, or a comic book movie have to be accurate, or and if so, how accurate does it have to be? And the reason for it that I'm asking this question is because that's the biggest argument, right? It's like everybody's wound up because that's not comic book accurate. That movie sucked because it's not comic book accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you can take bits, at least my stance on it is you could take bits and pieces of the comic books that make it, you know, somewhat accurate, but at the end of the day, it has to be a good movie. And a page for page accurate comic book doesn't necessarily transition to a good movie.
Mm-mm.
So that's the whole thing. Like somebody was saying the other day that The Dark Knight sucked because it wasn't comic book accurate. And it's like, okay, but Batman, I did watch it recently and I still enjoyed it. So my apologies for saying that it didn't hold up. To me, it's still kind of dated, but it's still enjoyable. But anyway,
you watched the Keaton?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The original one.
Nice.
But yeah, that one was a little bit more comic accurate, little bit like, and I still don't think Tim Burton even fucking knew that. He just took elements that looked like comic bookish and brought that
Tim Burton comic bookish.
Exactly. But to me, it doesn't necessarily have to be comic book accurate to be a good to transition into a good movie. I think when you hold on to that notion of this has to be exactly like this comic book, then you're just ruining it for yourself because it didn't come out that way. Same thing with me and Ready Player One. Same whole thing, right? It's like they couldn't possibly make that shit word for word exactly like the book.
12 hours.
But because
long.
that was my expectation, then I was, I wasn't as thrilled by it. When at the end of the day, it was a pretty decent movie. It still has some plot holes. I thought it moved pretty quickly, but that was whatever. That's a whole different argument. But do you guys think that it has to be comic book accurate?
What do you think, Johnny?
No, I mean, absolutely not. And this argument from the nerds in the group, right?
Yeah.
When you make the movie comic book accurate, literally frame for frame, page by page, like they did with like Zack Snyder did with The Watchmen, people complain. And not only because the ending was obviously different and he went a different path, but they complained about the whole film and how it didn't live up. And he literally made he didn't even make a movie. I don't know why he should get credit for Watchmen at all. He actually copied the frame for frame versions of the movie for like a majority of that film. And he got shit for it because that's what he did. And so it's like, you can never, we've said this before, you can never please everyone. There's always going to be people that shit on you for it. For me, no, absolutely, 100%. You're never going to match the source material all the way. You should try to make an effort. I think that's the most important thing. Make an effort. At
least doing some homework.
Base your shit on the original. Maybe make a mixture of it. Add your own flavor to it, and make an amazing fucking flick. And I think that's probably going to be the most impactful to make a good movie. You know what I mean? That's what's going to change.
Yeah.
As long as you put that effort in and you really drive it, that'll be what's up. But I don't think it needs to be accurate to the T.
Yo, we actually are gonna have him available. He just called me.
All right.
So we're gonna ask him that question.
Hey man.
Rocco Taco, what's up, brother? You are on Insensitive Culture right now.
Hey.
hey, glad to be here.
We had a quick question for you because we are not avid comic book readers like you are. And so I had a question that I asked the gentleman here is, does a Hollywood movie based on superheroes and comic books have to be comic book accurate? And if your answer is yes, then how accurate does it have to be?
And if your answer is yes, why are you wrong?
So that's actually really great. you guys. It's a really great question, and I think that it doesn't need to be 100% accurate. I think they need to be able to capture the characters the way the characters are in the comic. I think these people that are like, well, that's not how the story went. Well, yeah, dude, it's a movie. It's a different telling of it. But if they nail the characters like James Gunn did in The Suicide Squad, that is what is needed. When you can't, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Keanu Reeves' Constantine. I don't know who that was on the screen. That wasn't Constantine. That was a great movie,
right?
But that wasn't Constantine from the comic book.
I feel you.
So that was the issue I had. So again,
but it was a great movie.
It was. It was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you nail the characters, I think that's what's important.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
I feel that.
Yeah, I would feel that. But a rebuttal to that is Joker. with Joaquin Phoenix. A lot of people, like the fact that they went with the mental health portion of it, a lot of people were saying, well, that's not the character. That's not Joker. Because it wasn't very comic book accurate as far as the representation of that character. It was more realistic of someone having mental issues.
I think that that's a valid argument. However, I will destroy that argument in a rebuttal and saying which comic is the actual like Joker origin. How many origin stories do we have of the Joker?
True that.
Right.
What adds to to that character being so terrifying is the fact that we really don't know where he came from, and to this day we still don't really have a solid idea of where he came from. And I think that Joaquin Phoenix's performance added another layer to that, and I thought that was a beautiful performance, and I'm a huge fan of Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah. So are we. I'm really hoping.
Are you a fan of Joker
I'm sure
too?
you've listened.
Or the idea of it. Obviously, no one's seen it yet.
Like, wait, you mean what was that? Say that
The
again?
sequel.
The sequel, the Joaquin Phoenix sequel.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way: I'm very interested. I don't think it needs one. However,
I don't
I'm
think so
very
either.
interested to know what they're going to do with it.
Same.
My theory early on, which I'm hoping they will go with, is that if they did any research on the comics at all, I think it would be dope because he signed on for 2 more. I think it'd be dope if we get 2 more origin stories that are completely different.
Yeah.
That, or if you're insensitive culture listeners out there, pick up 3 Jokers, which is one of the best comics I've ever read. And yeah, if he's signed on for 2 more and they go the 3 Jokers route, where
That would be crazy.
That would be wildly awesome.
Yep, that'd be great.
Fuck it.
Who
Rocco
else would
Taco,
you
thank you so
nominate to
much.
play the other 2 Jokers?
I mean,
Joaquin Phoenix has to play them all, bro.
Yeah, he signed on for 2 more.
I know,
bro.
you said the 3 Jokers was 3 distinct Jokers all living in the same timeline, right? So Joaquin Jokers plays
Correct.
the one. He can be in the other 2 movies, but he's not the main character, right? And so who would you nominate to play the other 2 Jokers?
I pictured.
I'm
2
not gonna
different-
lie. I've always had a hard on for Johnny Depp playing Joker.
Speaking of sexy Johnny
Sexy
Depp,
I know.
damn,
Man,
bro,
this is
you
a-
were right on
this
it.
is a sexy
we had
Johnny
a
Depp
sexy
episode.
Johnny Depp
Show
conversation
title.
earlier that you missed out on.
I'm always into a sexy Johnny Depp conversation.
You are on the right show, my brother.
No, we're not going to deviate from the episode title being Pits and Slits.
Pits and Slits.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing what he would do with
That
that,
would be
character.
interesting.
That would be interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I
Definitely.
could see it.
Yeah, but I don't know if anyone else.
I would be interested to see Alan Tudyk. He does. I think he does the voice in Harley Quinn.
He does the
right?
voice.
Yeah.
He does.
I would like to see.
Be interesting to see him
I'm
do
looking
live
at. I'm
action.
thinking of his face right now, and I'm thinking. I think he could fit it.
You could.
I'm not 100% sold, but I'll tell you this: I would be right in line to see it.
Sure.
Yeah. So either if it sucked,
Can
they
I
got
throw
your money.
Can I throw one in there? For a classic Joker look, would be I just had his name in my head. He was
It's gone.
Yeah, I know.
Damn
I hate.
it.
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody.
Oh yes, yes. Oh,
He
that
gets
would be
into
more in
character,
line
too. He's a
with
method actor,
the
bro.
Joaquin
That would-
Phoenix style.
That's like, yeah. He's got an
Yeah.
Oscar, bro. He's no
You're
joke.
going deep in the roster there. I like
Yep.
it.
Yep. Adrian Brody.
That's good.
Well, I brought him up because he was my go-to person when they were having all of the talk for Dark Knight, because he was in talks to play the Joker, and everybody's heart set was, they were set on
I do
him.
remember that now that you say that.
And
Right.
and then when Heath Ledger got it, everybody's like, "What?"
That's right.
10 things I hate about you. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
So
Boy,
he
were we
was.
wrong.
I think
Yeah,
it
we
would
were.
be dope to have him play like the because we got the the mentally disturbed version of character, but if we got like the Clown Prince, like old school, wears the purple suit.
Yeah.
slick green hair, like maniac. That shit would be dope. I think it would be.
Yeah, I
dope.
mean, the three you got what? It's the deranged, the comedian, and the gangster. If I'm
See?
correct.
Yep.
And if that could be pulled off correctly, anyone who's listening, if you haven't read it yet, read Three Jokers. It's just bomb. It is absolutely bomb. So
I actually read that one. That was it was bomb.
Yeah,
it was very dope. Or you could do what I did and just watch a video on YouTube that describes the entire story.
You could do that too.
Danny did.
No.
That's my style.
I only did that because
That's what
Danny,
Wax Brother
Danny
Danny
sent
did.
me the link, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm watching this
Damn.
now. And then I went back and I actually read it. But yeah,
Good for you.
brother, thank you so much for taking the call and answering our silly questions. But we needed a comic
Always.
book reader to actually answer
Connoisseur.
this question. A connoisseur
Well,
of sorts.
Always glad to fill whatever holes you guys need.
Thank you. Dave will be contacting you for that.
I'll text you.
You can fill
I'll
my
text you
slits
after.
and pits
I can't-
anytime.
I was gonna say that. You fuck.
Nice callback. Nice callback. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you.
Peace.
Yo, I agree. I agree with Rocco. Pretty much what he said was what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Like if you
character.
nail those characters, if the characters are there, their motivations, their thoughts, you could put them in like any situation.
Yeah, that's lit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you do like an impression. Remember how we said if you really nail an impression of somebody,
Yeah.
you can say whatever you want as them, and it's believable because the impression is there. I feel like if the character's there, and like the heart is there, then it'll kill.
Nice. Yeah, no, I agree. But when people scream and say this wasn't that as accurate, this wasn't like
That's
that, it's
probably
just like,
a smaller
bro,
minority than we
like, yo, this
even think.
you wouldn't even imagine that from all the people in the fucking comment section of everything.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's I agree. As long as you get like the character down to a point, the movie has to be entertaining at the end of the day. It has to be a dope ass movie. And if you give me a movie where the character is kind of like everyone gives Jared Leto shit for his Joker, right? If that movie was actually good, he'd probably still be playing that character. We'd get another movie. We'd get a little bit more out of that. And personally, I had my things with that movie. What is it called? Like my gripes with that movie. But I honestly wish that we would have gotten more of his character, like more of a storyline for that character, or they saved the Joker for like
He wasn't
a
the-
more in-depth story.
I don't think he was the reason that movie blew.
No, I don't think
nev-
so
I never
either.
thought that ever. Like I thought he committed. Like I thought, this Joker's
I
not
thought
bad.
he
Like,
didn't do bad.
It's a Joker. Like we said, there is no one specific Joker. Like that's a Joker, and I believed it 100%. Like there was so much wrong with that movie, but I don't think Jared Leto or his Joker was.
I don't think so.
Was
I
one of them.
actually want to see more of.
I want to see those
Like I said, I
scenes.
want to
The
see more.
Snyderverse, bro. I want to
of
see
that.
the Nightmare verse or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck that shit was. That
Yeah.
shit was fire. Like I still think about that shit today. Like even if I see screenshots, I'm like, oh fuck, that was dope.
Yeah.
Like if they would have made,
I want to see
if he
all
would have
those scenes
done that in
they
a rated R movie, it would have
supposedly
been great.
cut.
Mm-hmm.
People are still like screaming for the Ayer cut,
Yeah.
and they're still hashtagging it up. A producer recently came out and said, like, listen, man, like the Ayer cut didn't really garner
Didn't
a
test
better
that good, right?
It
Yeah,
didn't garner a
didn't with
better response
audiences.
than what came out.
Yeah.
Like what came out got a better response than the Ayer cut.
Huh.
But I would love to see. I really wanted them to show more of that character, rated R. You know, like I wanted to see the relationship he and Harley had, the very toxic relationship.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted it to get deeper into that, and I think people would probably appreciate his Joker more if we would have gotten that.
Agreed.
Rather than because it started off very good, and then I don't know what the fuck happened in that movie.
But I
Whatever,
fully
man.
agree. I'm echoing what Dave said. I agree with Rocco. I didn't think about it in that manner. but the way that he's saying, like, just nail the character, and the story could be whatever it is. But if you nail the character, it'll make everyone feel attached to it. It's the way that, like, in Mando, right, with Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka Tano, a fucking beloved character by the nerds, right? Or the Star Wars nerds. And every time we say nerds, by the way, it's no disrespect. It's just, that's what we are.
Nah, it's a...
So they loved it because they knew the character, and Rosario Dawson played her just like it was in Clone Wars and in Rebels and in, I think she appears in Bad Batch as well. I haven't finished it, but just all of that led to, the right space. And when you see her in Mando, you're like, the character, that's it. That's the character I know and love. So absolutely, it makes sense that that's more important than matching the story.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. I actually wanted to bring something up because I had no idea that this actually
what did we do?
Existed in world. No, I didn't know that this was an actual thing in the world. But have you ever heard of alien hand syndrome?
Alien hand syndrome?
Alien hand syndrome.
Okay.
Where you can't control your hand.
So this is when one of your hands takes on its own motions, like it does whatever it wants. It has a mind of its own.
Like that fucking movie?
Like Idle Hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, idle hands. Yeah. Except that hand wanted to kill people.
That was such a good movie.
That was
It was.
Devon Sawa?
That was one of the early what was her name?
Chick?
Yeah, the girl in the movie.
Jessica
Alba.
Oh.
Early Jessica Alba movie. Yeah. I remember specifically, it came out when I was young because I remember specifically.
And Seth Green, that was an early Seth Green movie as well.
So, yeah,
early Seth Green movie, yeah. She had her little panties on. You could see her ass cheeks and shit. I was like,
I gotta rewatch this.
I love Jessica Alba. She's still one of my faves.
Yeah. She's great.
Sin City. She was always fine in Sin City.
It says here that some people. She wasn't Sin City.
Oh, Sin City. I'm sorry.
She was a stripper.
I was thinking Spin City.
Oh yeah, with Michael J. Fox. Yeah, she was the.
It did start with Michael J. Fox, and then it was Charlie Sheen, right?
Was it? I don't remember Charlie Sheen. Spin City. That's weird.
Put that on the choice
So
list.
it says here.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It says here that alien hand syndrome is a rare neurological condition that causes one hand to act on its own free will. Sometimes one leg is affected, though not as common. Can you imagine having this fucked up ass situation where you're just talking to somebody and I'm just like,
no, that's crazy as hell.
They're like, bro.
You're just like, yo, fuck.
And you got to explain to them, and they're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Like, how do you explain that shit?
You got to carry a card like Arthur Fleck. Like, sorry about
It's a condition.
my titty hand. Like, yo, it loves titties, though. I don't know what.
Sorry, it's a condition. Yo, sorry. Hey, perverts out there. This is
Don't
not.
use this as an excuse.
Don't use this
Not
as
an
an
excuse.
excuse
for your perversions.
I'm sorry, I can't control it.
I could-
I have
Yeah.
alien hands.
It's just like, boom. She's going to be like, oh my God. And he's just going to be like, yep, card.
Yeah, there you go.
He starts
Yeah,
tweaking.
right.
Like, oh, well.
I don't know what it's doing,
Tweaking her
but
nipples
it's
and
tuning
shit.
in Tokyo.
What if it wanted to jerk dudes off? You're just like on the subway and you're just cranking some dude off over
You're
here.
like, I'm
That's
so
not-
sorry. I
mean, you still give him a card and he's like, all right, I guess. It's whatever.
I'll
I gotta
take
do
it.
the next stop.
It's been
if
a
you
couple weeks.
You
Dave-
could finish soon.
Dave shows up to the podcast is like, guys, you won't imagine the crazy trip I just had.
Crazy.
What do you
Subways are
do?
wild.
I let him finish.
What else can you do? I can't control them.
What else
Gonna
can
just
you
follow
do?
me around.
Oh,
Might as
shit.
well.
Oh, it's got to be rough. for the taker too. For the taker
like,
of
What do? Do I say no? Do I say stop?
Don't worry, brother.
He's good. It'll be over
I'm
soon.
so sorry about this, but just to make it easier on you, I always carry a thing of lube.
And I just got my phone in my other hand. I'm just going about my business, playing Mario Kart and shit. Fuck yeah.
All right.
Such an idiot.
I'll just finish this game.
Just finish this game,
Mario
bro, and then you
Kart?
finish up, and I'm going to be out.
I just I forgot where I heard of this thing, but I was just like, yo, that would be a weird ass neurological fucking
That would suck.
issue that you have.
Nah.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's
Which would you
nowhere
rather have,
near
that
any
or-
of the stuff that we're saying, right? It's probably just like twitching and
Yeah, you're not going to.
it's just shit you can't control, right? I'm guessing. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the way that they worded it is like it has a mind of its own.
right, but
It's not like
like
Thing from the Addams Family. It's not
I'm
like
guessing
running
it's
across
just
the
you
table.
know it's
and
just
shit.
doing shit that you can't a mind of its own, meaning that like it does things that you
Right.
can't control. But I don't know that.
You probably spend your
You-
entire
like it's your hand,
your
right?
entire
It's
life
only
just
your
holding
hand,
this.
not your
Yeah.
arm, right?
Right?
you probably
think
spend your entire life just holding your arm like this,
Yeah.
and he's just like,
I would keep it in
It's
my
probably
pocket.
doing shit like that. Like
Tuck
a,
it.
it's like a Tourette's of the hand. It's just
Yeah.
flicking people off all the time. I'm sorry, I have alien
this shit-
hand syndrome.
Fuck you, yep.
I can't do it. Just doing shit like this, doing the shocker randomly and shit.
oh
Two in the
man,
pink.
can you imagine
Two in
if
the
it
pink,
does take on a
one
mind
in
of
the
its own?
Like, oh, word.
Yo, can you imagine though if if randomly, right? You think yeah, it's just kind of doing normal like random things, like it's
You're at parent teacher
whatever,
conference
like
and shit.
fuck, like this sucks. Well, this sucks, you know,
Jerking
like
the
it-
teacher off.
you just think like, yo, this sucks, like whatever, right? And then one day, like this shit just starts doing like perfect sign language
Ooh,
out of
that would be
nowhere.
interesting.
Asking
And you're
dudes
just
if
like,
it can
oh,
jerk
shit.
them off. It's like, can I jerk? No, you can't. Hand. Why is this hand so gay?
Oh man. Oh man, it's just taking on all the responsibilities that he wanted to take
Right.
on. His hand is daring to
I don't
do
think
the
this
things.
is a neurological disease at all, guys. I think I got some stuff going on that I need to work out.
Why is his hand so gay?
This is why we need Dave on
Episode
the show.
title?
Yeah. Only white boys think of shit like that.
Y'all were about to replace me last week. You don't think I didn't hear that shit?
I said if it works out.
It was all right.
It's all right. It's all right.
It was all right. It was all right. It was just okay. It was just okay. All right. So apparently, the Disney boss came out and called Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, as it's supposed to be pronounced, an interesting experience an interesting experiment, which was taken out of context, in my opinion, because he was referring to the fact that it is going to be a theater-only release where a lot of movies are coming out as both
There's
streaming
no
and
Premiere access on this.
theatrical. There is not. No. So it's 45 days in theaters or whatever. So when questioned about that, that's where he said it's going to be an interesting
Was the
experience
CEO
or
Bob
experiment.
Chapek?
Yep.
Chapek.
Yep. Bob Chapek. So he made that comment. And then of course
Chapek?
like that,
I don't know how you say his name.
I like
whatever. So of course like people started talking or whatever. And the star of Shang-Chi came out with a comment
uh-oh.
because he didn't
Uh-oh.
he didn't he didn't
He didn't get the memo.
like that.
I, mean,
He didn't get the memo.
I think it's a
of-
weird thing to say.
He saw the headline and didn't hear the interview.
Yeah, probably.
that's bad.
Or it just got taken out of context, and of course, like this is a Marvel movie that's like
It's already got.
really like Asian oriented, and you know what I mean, like. So it can be taken out of context. I understand that he's just saying like it's an interesting experiment to see how well it does with a theater only release now during these times, and now that everything is getting kind of like starting to get worse again. And there are a lot of mandates now with masks and whatnot. And a lot of people not wanting to take vaccines, and you can't do a bunch of stuff now without a vaccine or a mask. So, so I understood that as these are crazy times, and this is going to be an experiment on, on how things are, and it only releasing in theater. So then the star of Shang-Chi said, came out and saying on Variety, what is his name? Simu Leo.
I just wanted to see you try.
You just didn't know you wanted. I was trying not to, but
I just wanted to see you try.
Simu Liu.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You set him up for failure, dog.
He did. How would you pronounce it?
I have no idea. I haven't even seen, but I knew his name was wild. I remember seeing
it's
it
just
before.
Liu.
It was definitely
Simu Liu.
something that was not doesn't just
Liu,
roll off the American Western tongue.
Yeah. But he was on Variety saying that we are not an experiment. We are the underdog, the underestimated. We are the ceiling breakers. We are the celebration of culture and joy that will persevere after an embattled year. We are the surprise. Which, like I get where he's at too. It was like he's trying to say like don't downplay our movie, But I didn't take the CEO's comment as downplaying the movie. It's just more like,
well, not in context. No, in context, it makes total sense.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like it looks like he responded to the headlines and didn't actually hear the interview before posting or whatever he did to make this statement. And I'm wondering if he has a little bit of foot in mouth, or because maybe not, based on what you just read.
Yeah,
I think everything he said was good. He didn't come directly at him. The only thing that could be seemingly as direct was he said, "We are not the experiment." But then he just went on to say a bunch of other like dope, empowering things. And at the same time, like you mentioned, they have been getting a lot of shit lately or recently since just being like a not as well known, comic book character and story arc. And being just a fully Asian cast, which I think is dope because they're using actual Asians to play Asian characters instead of whitewashing shit.
I mean,
but
what? Tilda Swinton wasn't available.
I mean, just to kind of play off of what you're talking about there, like let's be real. The entire MCU, the first 10 years, you may have heard of these characters, but a lot of them you did not.
Right.
They came out completely with these no-name. Iron Man? When have you we've heard of the name Iron Man?
I mean, I knew him.
Most people probably did
but
not.
I didn't know his story.
Right.
I had no idea what
I
his
didn't read
history
any comic books, no. Right. Came out, loved it. Became an Iron Man fan. Same with Black Widow. Same with Hawkeye. Like all of these characters.
Be honest, even Captain America. Like I remember, vividly. I didn't have most of my toys growing up were Transformers or GI Joes, but I absolutely remember having an action character of Captain America. I had no idea who the fuck Captain America was, except I knew that he was Captain America. And to me, I would make all kinds of stories, and he would interact with the G.I. Joes and shit. But I never
First crossover
learned his history until I seen the fucking movie, and then I was like, that's a dope-ass story.
Oh, that's dope.
That makes sense.
That was
I kind of had an idea what it was, but no, that's I loved it.
And let's go even further, right? Guardians of the Galaxy,
Definitely.
I knew nothing about.
I would say
nothing.
100% nothing.
probably
I
80%
kept looking
of
at-
the people that seen that movie had never heard of them before, for not more.
I kept seeing that like really like we're gonna see a movie with a character called Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon.
Right.
Like like what the fuck? Like what are we looking at here?
Homeboy's
like,
a tree.
Yeah, Groot is a tree. Like what's up with this? And it's one of
Right,
my
yeah.
favorite movies.
Dopest, yeah.
I totally went into
of that
Guardians of the
series. So-
Galaxy knowing that it was because by that point we had already seen Thanos show up in a post-credit scene, and so like I was totally watching it in these are part of the overall Infinity Stone, Infinity Wars saga that we're diving into, and I only knew about that because of like YouTube and blogs and shit, and I knew that there was an Infinity War saga being built as these movies are coming out. And so going into Guardians, I was kind of like, I don't know who these people are, but apparently they're going to support the whole Infinity War story, so I'm here for that. And
Right.
that's why I was,
Right.
and like you said, it's definitely one of my tops of all the MCU movies.
Right, and I say all of that to say this that that I from the trailers that I've seen so far, I'm excited to see what Shang-Chi brings.
That most
can't-
recent
I don't
trailer
know
is
if I'm gonna.
lit.
Yeah. I haven't even seen it. Yet.
saw
But I saw the picture of Abomination, and that definitely is a little bit more comic book accurate to his representation in the comic book. So, and the like, just the way he looks and everything with the like the fin ears and everything. Because I was reading a book. My son has it's like 5-minute Marvel stories or something, and it's just it's a regular story book, but it has to do with the Marvel characters. And I remember at one point it was like a Hulk. It was a Hulk story.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, who's this? And it was Abomination because he had like the fin ears and everything. I was like, yo, he looked completely different from the movie that I saw him in.
Yeah.
But this one looks actually way more, like that character. So that's pretty dope. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I will have the time to make it to the theater to watch it, or if I can like get away to watch it. I would really love to, just because I hate spoilers and I hate people like.
Yeah.
Same way with
That's
all
a
Marvel
long time to
movies
wait
where it's like
where you're not going without spoilers. too.
Exactly.
45
So
days.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out a way, but I definitely want to see it in theaters.
September 3rd. That's 1, 2,
Mainly because I don't want to be spoiled.
3 weeks
Right.
away.
I'm hopeful
that's
though.
close, man.
I'm very hopeful
Well, that's
though.
Labor Day weekend.
All right.
Damn.
Oh, is
Yep,
it?
That's Labor Day
Nice.
weekend.
Shit.
Maybe we can
I
make
might have
something
that day
happen.
off then. Yeah, I can do something.
make
I can do
something
something with that.
happen.
Yeah, I can do something with that. Shit. Might be one of those things where it'd be like, yo, I'm gonna go to work.
Y'all
No.
don't share your location, so it's all
Right.
good.
Facts.
Now we know why.
Cha-ching. No. Nah, but for real though, I think I want to make an effort to make it to the theater. I haven't been to a theater to watch a movie like for myself.
I haven't been
in
since the
that
start.
entire time.
Yeah, same.
Like I said, the only
you
thing
went to
I've seen
Boss
was Boss
Baby,
Baby
that's
2
right.
for my son's birthday. Because it was like an easy, let's go to the movie theater with your cousins and everybody, and
Birthday.
a couple hours, and then it was done. So yeah, I wish it would have been a better movie, but whatever. Then I came home and it was even more annoying. I was like, man, it's on the fucking Plex. Should have just
Y'all
had
coulda
everybody
sat in the
come
living
over
room
here.
with some fruit snacks and shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, time.
Those
All right.
sleepy time fruit snacks. You see that? They got little gummies for kids to
They
go to
do.
sleep at night.
With melanin in it.
All right, everybody take your
melatonin.
go. Yeah, hell yeah.
Chewy melatonin? That's grimy.
Yeah, they do.
Yo. Ages
They
4
do,
and
cuz.
older, they said. They specified in the
Natural,
radio
guys.
ad.
It's not drugging. It's natural.
Eat as many as you
It's
want.
like giving them
My
it's
nephew-
like giving them a leaf.
My sister has to give that to her son, AJ. Cause like this whole weekend, I'm like, yo, my kids are all asleep. I'm like, bro, like you're not gonna put your kid to fucking sleep,
fucking
yo. Like
11:45.
we're all chilling. We're playing like adult games, like as far as like what we're saying and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, put your fucking kid to sleep. And she, sometimes he stays up till like 2, 3 in the morning.
hell
Like,
no.
Damn.
What?
How old is this kid?
he's 7.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
7,
That
8.
seems irresponsible.
Yeah.
7. Yeah, he's,
I used to have to
he's
go to
fucking
bed
wild.
at like 9:30.
She has to give him. She has to give him melatonin,
She'd give him something.
a
Benadryl.
gummy. But he knows. He's just like, yeah, I gotta take the gummy.
2 motherfucking.
It's gonna make me
gummies.
go to sleep.
2
It's
or
like,
3.
yo, I don't give a fuck. My kids on the weekend, they'll stay up a little bit longer.
But kids
But
crash
at some-
eventually. That
at-
shit's
no,
not
ain't
right.
Some
no.
don't,
A kid,
though. Some got that energy.
there will be.
'Cause it's
So
not like he's
my
not
son, when
active.
he gets
this
tired,
kid was active all day long.
yeah,
And
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
matter.
That's crazy.
My son will stay up. He will stay up till 2 in the morning if you let him. And he will be off the fucking walls. But I know when he gets tired. I know when he is tired because he is off the fucking walls. He's being disrespectful. Like he's just like going nuts. I'm like, you are tired, bro. It is time for bed. I'll put we'll give him his bath, whatever. He goes to bed. Literally within 5 minutes, he'll drink his milk and he'll be out fucking cold. Same thing with my nephew. I had him stay at my house. I don't play that shit. He knows that. So when
Uncle Wok
everybody
don't play.
No, he
Hell
knew that.
nah.
So when it was time to go to bed, Xander went to bed. I laid his ass down on my daughter's like bunk bed because she wasn't sleeping over that night. I'm like, bro, it's time to go to sleep. Turn around. That's my thing. It's like if you're looking at me, you're not gonna go to sleep. Turn around, face the wall, close your eyes.
Yo, that's some creepy. I don't know about
I'm just
saying that a little good.
It
Is that
works.
a James Gunn tweet? Oh shit!
Oh man, my mind didn't even go there, cuz.
I'm sorry. It's so fresh. It's so fresh in my mind. Dude.
Oh shit.
It's so fresh in my mind.
Oh man. Oh, it's fresh in your mind, and I thought Johnny was the Catholic one. Oh shit.
That's good.
No, but
It's good to be back, boys. It's good to be back.
But seriously though, it's just like, and he was out. He was knocked out within minutes, just as fast as my son fell out. It's just a matter of
Having to put him there, and maybe if they did that the same shit with that other kid, we'd go to sleep. Did they even try to get him to sleep?
no. I don't know. I'm not there.
Nah.
I'm not there. I don't play that shit though. It's just like,
Shrug
yo,
emoji.
I need my time. Like this right here is like you're into my hours now. Now I got to take care of your ass when I'm supposed to be relaxing and I got to go to
Watch
sleep.
time.
Lay your ass down, bro.
It's time.
Like chill. Yeah, it's time. And he falls asleep just fine. That was good though, Dave.
No doubt.
Not even gonna lie.
We just calmed down from that shit, dog. What do you got? I just wiped my tears and shit.
I had to give my appreciation
Good
for it
looks.
though. A little
Good
low
looks.
key appreciation for that one.
Low-key,
Very
low-key,
low key. So I guess a lot of fans have been going back and forth and tagging Hugh Jackman in a lot of posts about him returning as Wolverine. Now that the multiverse and all this shit, people still want him to play Wolverine. So they've been asking him if he would ever
Damn fans.
if he would ever return.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What did he say?
So his response, I guess they asked him one last time. No. Well, I'm sure he may reprise it like in a cameo or something like that, but I don't think he'll come back for a full. That would just open a big fucking can of worms, and I don't think he wants all that. But he gave a heartfelt response. He said, "It's in my past, man. Like, don't tell anyone, all right?" But then he said, "Well, let me say one more thing because I said that there's not a day that goes by where I'm not unbelievably grateful for having been part of the MCU universe, particularly to be there at the beginning of it and to watch it, to see Kevin Feige go from being an assistant to a producer and a mate of mine to where he is today. And that was a role of a lifetime." And then he said, "So I don't ever want people to feel that when I'm saying I'm done, that it's a glib thing. It was one of the greatest chapters of my life." So
It sounds like he has his closure, but maybe the door's
Right.
open if the bag is fat
That's
enough.
definitely what it
Like
sounds
he's
like.
like sucking off Kevin Feige, like, yo, my man's doing work. If he wants to get me in on some of that work, I'm
I think
about it.
he'll come in like on cameos, but if is there gonna be like another Wolverine movie or where he's Wolverine in the
Wolverine
entire
Probably
thing?
not, at least.
I don't think so.
But I think there's got to be a new Wolverine character.
Like a Deadpool team up movie. Wasn't that going to
I
be
think
a thing
it's
for a
time
while?
though. I think it's time that we get someone new.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm a little like
Yeah.
kind of weirded out about him saying like he was a part of the MCU. No, you wasn't.
He said a part of that MCU universe.
What the fuck does that mean?
That.
MC. That's the Fox universe.
I mean, it's
That's
Marvel.
It's the Fox universe.
It's still Marvel.
It's not MCU. It's Marvel.
No,
just
it's
Marvel.
MU.
It's MU.
MU?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he
it's
tried
the
to
Marvel
like
universe.
shimmy his way into MCU.
That's what it sounded like. It just
Like,
a
bro,
little,
come on. At no point have they said that any of the Fox universe was canon. And if it's not canon, then it's not MCU. MCU
Oh,
is
that's true.
specific to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The Marvel canon
Starting
universe
with
is what we should call it.
You're right. We should. Starting with Iron Man, right? That's the dawn of it, and from there moving forward,
That's true.
including other, the shows and there's a bunch of shit that technically is part of MCU as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's the only thing. Other than that, fuck yeah, I love all of his time.
I would love to see him.
I would like to see him kind of. But I don't know if this is comic book accurate. But I would like to see him do like a passing of the baton in a way. Maybe if it's like a multiverse thing, where he's like, Wolverine in a different universe, but we already have our established MCU Wolverine, and then some point there's like a passing, like after we get introduced
through
to
a
new one,
flashback or
there's like
something.
a flashback or some, whatever.
I already think I
Quantum
can
realm
already
shit,
dream
just
sequence.
some shit that like
I can already think
Yeah.
of it.
shows him.
I can
but
already think of it.
Tell me what you thinking.
If we do Deadpool, right? We know we're getting a Deadpool, and we know he's already tied with X-Men, and they're looking for ways to bring mutants in, right? So imagine we get our new Wolverine. Maybe it's tied into the new Deadpool, right? And his cameo is that meme. You know that meme of the older guy that is just zooming in on him. And he's looking at the camera and he gives like a small little nod.
Yeah.
You know that? Do you know that meme? So imagine he's like looking into some binoculars and he's zooming in and it's
Like with
Hugh
the
Jackman.
beard and
yeah,
shit
Yeah, the
and the
beard.
hair?
And it's Hugh Jackman and he gives him that same look with a smile. He's just like,
Yo, that
If
dude
we
is,
get that,
that's Robert Redford.
That's dope.
is that?
Yeah, it's Robert Redford.
That would be even better than what I was thinking.
That
of.
would be great.
And easier.
You just
That'd
wrote
be
that
great.
shit, cuz.
Look at that.
Yeah, hire
And
him.
it's tied into a meme. People would
Disney,
get that
hire
shit.
this man.
You hear that, Kevin Feige? Simu Liu?
That would be great though.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marvel, I wanted to get into a what if scenario, right? Because we know it just aired this past week. By the time this airs, we would have a second episode of it. My thought or my question to y'all is: do you think that this is going to be how they, whatever story arc they come with that, or obviously like of course, before we get a Black Panther 2, I think something is going to go on with the Black Panther character that explains why there's a shift, so that by the time part 2 comes out, we would already know what the change is going to, like, we would already be prepped for a change.
So are you asking if What If is going to
So
bridge?
I'm thinking, yeah, if you think that What If, because technically, right, all these What Ifs are different universes in the multiverse that is now being unleashed, right?
I'm trying to remember.
So
He
would
says
Black
something in the
Panther 2
beginning.
have to take place in
He
that?
says something in the beginning that this is beyond, or that things happen beyond dimension and time, or something like that. Which
Yeah, and he's like, no matter what, I never interfere or something.
Yeah, so when he's doing that, I'm wondering if the way that he said what he said kind of makes it different than... It's kind of like there are multiple timelines, but within those timelines, there's also multiple dimensions. So they can be
Gotcha.
multiple stories. You know what I'm saying?
I know that Killmonger is a part of this story, because there is one centered around Black Panther being the one that turns into Star-Lord. Or T'Challa turns into Star-Lord. He gets, he's the one who gets picked up or whatnot. And then Killmonger becomes the king of Wakanda. So I want to say that that's what that storyline is. Obviously, it didn't come out, so I don't know. But they already fucked up too with a lot of the Funko Pops coming out and shit. So, King Killmonger is one of the toys that was released.
Wasn't there one with Killmonger where he's like saves Tony, like when he
Yeah,
crashes in
yep,
the desert too?
Yep.
Like,
So-
there's
so
a couple of different. Killmongers.
what I was asking is, do you really like? Do you think that's how it's going to be explained? If it's not in What if none of the What If stuff really gets transitioned into this story arc, my thought right now is thinking like, yo, we're going to deal with some sort of event that triggers the death of T'Challa elsewhere than the movie, and then that actually makes sense, so that when we enter Black Panther 2, we're grieving about the death of the character, and then we move on to
I think it would be another movie in the MCU, if anything.
Yeah,
I don't think it would be like a What If episode, like a random.
I don't think the full story is going to be on a What If, especially if you. I know you didn't see it, but if you watch it, it's like it's a very just sped up version of this. So definitely it needs more, but it could be, I don't know. I didn't know if just like the premise of it starts off with What If and then kind of moves forward.
It would be
I
very
just assume the
smart.
actual Black Panther movie would maybe
But
too
I
smart.
think too smart.
So I think they
Yeah.
don't. I don't think they like it. It makes too much sense almost, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I just don't
It's
know
too
if
obvious
any
to
of
be like,
these What If episodes. The thing is that we've been told that the What If is a part of the MCU, and so they could have an impact on the overall storyline. I just don't know if they are doing it that way.
Are enough people going to see them? Like, are they? I feel like if something big like that was going to happen, they would be pushing this shit. Like, I haven't seen shit for that show, even on like.
I
even
mean,
in
I don't
Disney
think
ads.
it
Like, I don't.
needs to have been seen. I think the way that this will impact the storyline is going to be kind of tangential shit. You know, like what some characters' story arcs as they appear in other of the main movies. You'll be like, oh, you know what? I saw What If, and that impacted it. Now I get why that makes way more sense of why they're doing that now. Where other people will just be like, no, they don't care because it's like a side story or, you know, a side character. I don't know how much it's gonna impact. Like you're saying, like Black Panther in Black Panther 2. I don't know that What If is gonna play that big of a role to direct that movie. I don't
Right,
see
but
that.
there's definitely
I think there'll be.
I definitely see something going on prior.
In What If that may
Yeah.
impact Black Panther 2, but I don't know that that they've written that episode in advance of finding out.
But they could play off of something they already
They
have
can.
written
Yes,
when that happens.
absolutely.
And
I
my
think that's
thought
what
on
will
that
happen.
is, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And not only that, but all of this, like they have so much time to adjust, right? And where they could literally change anything. My thought is would be on Multiverse of Madness. They could really just change anything.
Or
Right.
Quantumania. Also,
Or Quantumania.
both of
that's
those
right.
names introduce violence in storyline.
And we know Spider-Man is going to. I don't think they would do it in Spider-Man, but we know that also plays
has
with
multiverseness
the whole
into it,
thing.
yeah.
So
I mean, the whole rest of this phase feels like
Phase
it's
4
just
is about to be
fuckery,
wild.
right?
Yeah, it's
like
just
it's
fuckery.
not. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like there's no like I don't even want to speculate because I feel like it could just the old comic book writer gig, right? Like just whatever the fuck, it's the multiverse.
Still no
So
trailer.
I'm excited, but
Still no trailer.
that's true.
I heard another rumor because remember the one that we thought was, or at least that I thought I had heard about was Spider-Man Day or some shit.
Yeah,
And but we did get the Venom 2 trailer on
Right.
that day.
Mhm.
And by the way, that was pushed back now to October. Venom 2
It was
was.
a few weeks, right? 3 weeks. Was
Yeah,
it
something
pushed
like
back?
that. Yeah.
I don't mind those as much. It's the fucking
Yeah.
next year
Right,
when you have
right,
another
right.
year.
Still,
Like
it's,
that shit hurts the most, dude.
That's an indicator on, is it just that movie or is it just like
It's never
people
just that
freaking
movie.
out
It's
because
a
now
domino effect.
new
That
mandates
Delta shit,
and
yeah.
you know they're trying to push shit back, but
They're probably just
I don't
going to
know.
reevaluate.
either way there's another day that's coming up that's like that's significant to
So the
Disney.
Spider-Man- Oh,
I think it's
Disney.
like some sort of I think to Disney and people are hoping, people just keep hoping that we're gonna get that fucking trailer
So
soon.
it's like the D3.
And it's supposed to drop like I think it was D3.
When is D3?
It would make sense, right? We get some shit like that. Because it's set to drop in December, right?
I thought.
We haven't even gotten a trailer, bro. They don't want to let anything out.
That's crazy.
Alfred Molina came out. What's his name? Who
D23.
played Goblin
Yeah, D23 is
in the
Dafoe.
original? William Dafoe.
November.
William Dafoe came out and said they asked him about his role and he didn't flat out say no. He said something
Really?
just like, yeah, I don't like to talk about certain movies until they come out or some stupid shit like that, which doesn't really mean anything. But of course, the nerd world is just like, well, he didn't say no, so he's in the movie too.
Yep.
He's a surprise villain, and it's just spiraling.
And
out
then
of
they
control.
freak out when he's not because they were promised.
Right. Yep. And it's like, yo, just say no. Just fucking say no.
Right.
No, I'm not in that fucking movie. Even if you are in that movie, just say no, I'm not in that fucking movie.
Can't get in trouble for saying no.
No. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's preferred.
Yeah,
that you just say
exactly.
no, I'm not
Just
in
cover
that.
your ass. Like, no.
I'm not in that. And
I
then
don't know
and
that.
then if you are, it'd be like, surprise, bitch.
They're like, you're a liar. Yep.
Yep.
Sorry.
Hey man, sorry, I lied to give you a great experience.
Give you a treat.
Fucking sue me. But speaking of that, I don't really have any important news, so let's go with a question and then we can wrap up.
What do we
What does
got?
that sound?
I like that.
Sounds good.
Finishing up with a question right
Yeah,
quick.
so finish up with a question.
Let's do it.
I like this
this.
one because, of course, it doesn't require much thinking.
It doesn't-
But,
we're not a bunch of thinkers here. if
no,
you
we're
guys
not.
haven't
We're not.
realized that, yeah?
So let's see. Which MCU character would you like to smoke a blunt with or have a beer with?
Ooh.
Yeah. I would love to have
Wait, did you say MCU
Yeah.
or just comic book?
MCU
So
character.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So
Correct.
there's no Wolverine, X-Men. Those are all.
Deadpool doesn't count,
Off
right?
They are.
limits?
You just don't know who they
Does
are.
Deadpool
Huh?
count? Since he's
technically
a
now he's in the MCU,
future
yeah.
character, but he hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still.
I mean, he
part
just
of it,
he
though,
had
right?
that trailer review with Korg,
True.
so now
So
he's
technically-
technically a part of the MCU. So my
He's like a.
my response would be I would love to have a drink with Tony.
I was gonna say. I was thinking Tony.
I'd love to have a drink with Tony and just talk shit with him. You know, he would talk for hours and
Just his
You wouldn't even-
sarcasm.
yeah, it
I
would
love
be
the. I guess I'm thinking more Robert Downey Jr. though. Like,
I mean, but that's who it is.
no, I know.
In the
but
MCU, that's
I
who it
feel
is.
like I'm thinking about the actual actors at this point now. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to separate them
Right.
from
No,
the
it's the
actual
character. It's
characters.
got to
'cause
be
like,
the character.
It is. Okay, I got mine then.
Was it Robert Downey Jr.?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Because I was gonna say if it's not Tony, I'll let you go with one since I don't want to say yours and then you're like fuck. Now I got to think of another one.
No, it's fucking Black Widow, Natasha.
Oh,
Me and Natasha
yeah.
Romanoff. We're gonna cool out.
Oh, you're trying to have
smoke some chronic.
a romantic
He's trying
Tony and
to
drink.
he's trying to get in that.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we
I
go.
feel
Now
you.
you're thinking.
I feel you,
Okay.
Johnny. You have somebody in mind?
I didn't have anyone in mind, but I'm thinking right now.
Sweet.
I'm thinking it would be pretty cool if it's a blunt. I'm gonna go with. I think I might go with Korg.
Korg.
I think that would be a cool dude to smoke a blunt with, and we would like crack jokes back and forth.
Fuck
And
yeah.
and
That makes sense.
probably I would watch him play video games, and while I
Noob
smoke,
master?
so it'd be very similar to
You
my
protect him
chilling
from
with
Noob
Wok.
Master.
Um,
Your Korg.
and if it was a beer though,
Thor.
nah, Thor
Thor
just
crushes those beers.
He does, but he just talks about himself the whole time, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't be an interesting conversation.
No. What about Loki?
It would. Loki's interesting. I
Like,
mean,
it'd have to be the Loki from Loki,
from
not like- yeah,
from the
right.
show is now a new
Right.
person that I would be
Yeah.
interested to talk to.
Show Loki.
I think I would get along with Eric Banner, and
That makes sense.
not as the Hulk, but I would ask him a lot of questions. I like.
Did you say
like-
Bruce Banner or Eric Bana?
Bruce,
Who was
Bruce
your answer
Banner,
there?
Sorry.
I was like, I mean, Eric Bana was badass in Munich, but that's not what we're
Yeah,
talking
Bruce
about,
Banner,
Johnny.
Sorry. As I always do, I fucked up the name. Yeah.
I think Bruce. I think Bruce Banner makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
for you, bro.
I feel like I'd be on eggshells, though. Like, if I pissed him off, I did something weird, he just bugs out, and you're
Yeah,
fucking
but I don't
done.
piss people off. You know, like it's rare that I
mean,
say.
you better
I
hope
mean,
not.
we're not
Better
going to get
hope
into politics. If you decide to talk about politics, then I'm gonna be like,
Right,
bro.
right.
Before I say
Yep.
anything, like I need
And
to
then
know
you
where
start playing
sit.
devil's advocate, and you're getting smashed around like
Right.
Loki. Nah, scary.
So I like what you did there. We lost the camera, so I'm focusing on this one. So I like what you did there, right? I would definitely smoke with. I definitely have a drink with Tony, but
So you already went.
I would
Pick Tony.
I would smoke with Paul Rudd's character. Ant-Man.
Oh,
I definitely have a smoke session with
Whoa.
Ant-Man.
What's his face's name in Ant-Man? I can't. Michael Pena. Who is Michael Pena? I would fucking smoke and drink with Michael Pena, 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah, he would just.
Damn.
he
I
would
mean,
just-
I only thought of it because he said Ant-Man, but I don't
Paul
remember
Rudd
what
was
his name
Scott
was in
Lang.
that, but that was my
And
dude.
Michael Pena
Scott
was
Lang.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where there we go.
Lewis.
Yep.
Lewis,
Yep.
yeah,
Hey,
my man
Lewis.
Lewis. Just like a
Lewis.
B character, but fucking money.
But I would definitely smoke a blunt with Scott Lang.
Hell yeah.
I think that would be dope.
I'm about that. I'd want to
Yeah.
touch that. I want to get in on that circle real quick. I just want to see you smoking something, first of all.
It's not that special.
Word.
It's not that special. Oh man. But guys, that's all I have for this episode. You guys good? You good?
I ain't
Y'all don't
got
want to talk about
shit
Dave?
else.
All right. Dave, yeah, we could touch on that on the season finale.
Ooh.
Does that count as a spoiler?
Yeah.
I think so. It's within the last.
We ain't got to make a special
No.
announcement about it or anything
But
like
it is a
that.
spoiler alert.
Pretty much, we're gonna.
We're going
We're
spoil
going
the shit out
to-
of Dave if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Yeah. So we're just gonna give a quick recap on Dave and our thoughts on that. So if you haven't seen it, peace out. We love you. Thank you for tuning in this whole
Peace.
time. Yeah, so as far as Dave, the episode, I mean, it started off very much like the rest
Yeah.
of the season,
It really did.
where it was just like kind of weird, kind of slow. This season has been depressing. Like,
Depressing as
I get it
fuck.
that the
Anxiety-filled season.
Yeah.
just a lot of that shit.
From the very first episode in Korea, where everything was just
Yeah.
bugging. Like, it's
Yeah.
just all been just hectic as fuck.
right.
And confusing and strange and Rick Rubin and just been weird, but
Yep.
but good. Like at the same time, like it felt different than last season, but
Mhm.
I still been fucking with it, man. I still been watching the next episode and hanging in there, and
Yep.
I'm glad I did.
We even made it through the extremely gay episode with Benny Blanco.
Benny
Chuck
Blanco.
episode.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep,
Chuck.
the Chuck episode. Jeez. Pulling gum out of his
Oh
ass
my
and
God.
shit.
Forgot about
They
that.
still say Chuck. There's
Yeah,
still
they still say
Chuck back
Chuck.
and forth even in the finale.
That's probably
It's
something
Chuck.
that they both have.
I
and that's
wonder
why
that that's probably real, dude.
It is, yeah. Benny
I mean,
Blanco
a
posted up
portion of
like a
it.
big like
I'm sure it's real.
No, I meant the Chuck part.
Yeah,
in
the Chuck
particular,
part, the
just like
Chuck,
how they
yeah.
call each other. That's
I'm
got to
sure
be a
that
thing up there.
is
Yeah, I don't know
a
if they-
friendship thing.
Sure.
Between them two, but no, it was definitely a more depressing season than I anticipated.
Mhm.
Than I really wanted. Because that first season was hilarious, and then it just went into this emotional roller coaster of him just like having that the like he was in a funk and all this shit.
Writer's
And
block.
even my girl said it. She's like, yo, I have my own shit to like my own anxieties that I have to worry about. Like I
I
don't
don't
want
want to get anxious when I'm
Right.
relaxing.
Yeah, same thing. She actually
feel that.
no. It definitely played into this season of Dave because she hardly watched it, but she was talking about Joseph Gordon-Levitt's show on Apple TV Plus,
Mr.
where it's
Corbin.
all about anxieties too. Yeah, the Mr. Corbin, and it's the
I
same
don't know
thing.
how
It's
that
just like
started it.
I don't want to like.
Now I'm scared.
Yeah. It's about a teacher with anxieties, and you're just like going through his anxiety this entire time, and it's the same thought. But anyway,
I feel that though.
but however, yes, seeing the ultimate finale because we thought that he was practicing this fucking weird
The
ass
dick surgery. on
dick surgery
stage
shit
and
on
just
stage where it was
being
like what the fuck.
so selfish.
And then I remember I fell asleep for a second because that's just what I do
Right.
every fucking time.
Right.
And I wasn't sure what was going on with Gator. And he's just like, yo, what's up with Gator? Like, have you talked to him?
Right.
Like, he's good. He's fine. And then when the whole shit went off and Gator came out and was like on stage with him and
When you
shit,
seen-
and just
when you
like and
seen
actually
Gator-
like rapping
when
his
you
part.
seen Gator watching the monitor and crying,
Crying.
did you?
Yeah.
You thought
Did
he
you
was
think he
home
was
and
home?
watching
Yeah.
him
Or
on
did
TV
you
crying?
have
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
idea what was gonna happen?
None.
I feel
None.
like
I had no idea.
the first time, like they showed him like a couple of cuts, and so the first time I was like, "Yo, that's fucked up, man."
Yeah, like he's just not-
still
he's just not there.
And
Yeah.
then like I had the thought, like, man, wouldn't it be cool if Dave brought him out? But then I was like, man, I don't know how they would be able to figure out to fit him in to that
that
long
long-ass-
ass crazy
yeah.
show that he already had planned,
Which was wild, by the
super
way, when
wild.
they
It
played
was
that
dope
whole
as
thing.
fuck, though. Don't get me wrong,
It was,
dope.
it was.
Starting from
Yeah.
the piano
Yeah.
scene, and when the bitch backslapped him
Jumping
with
off the
stick,
thing, yeah.
I was like, "What the
Oh,
fuck
dude.
is going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. He
It was,
had a
I'm
vision.
like, my whole thought on that was like, really, they're giving Lil Dicky like this much like stage
Right.
No,
time?
yeah.
That was
After
my
it got
thought.
to like
Mike
about a
was
minute
like,
and a
nah,
half,
you got to cut that down, bro.
I was like, this is definitely what he wants to do, but this is a rehearsal. There's no way this is legit because I
Right.
know he wants to do something bigger, and they already said that they cutting his time down.
Yeah. Yep.
oh, fuck.
So then to see Gator jump out and perform and like knowing that like his whole, and you know me, man, I like, those are the stories that I like resonate
Word.
with, right? It's like the underdog,
Absolutely.
you know,
his
telling
soundproof studio.
telling people like, yo, this is what's gonna happen at some point, and you know, and getting those looks, and just like
His
not
family,
being,
his family
yeah, his
playing
family
him.
just not involving him in shit because he's not
financially stable.
yeah, like all that shit, like all that, like any stories like that of like the underdog like really coming
Word.
out and
Finally getting that
and
break.
dominating and just like finally getting their
Yeah.
break. That shit resonates with me. So when I saw
Same.
him come
Me
out
too.
and he was performing, I was like, that's
Damn,
what the
yeah.
fuck is up. Like
Yeah.
he actually
Oh,
pulled
yeah.
through for his
And then
boy,
I
and
felt
his
like-
boy
I
is
felt like a
now.
dick
I
for
ain't gonna
hating
lie,
on
I
the rest
shed
of the
tears
season.
on that moment. I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Dennis, what's up?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, those usually get me, but I didn't shed the tear this time. Usually I'm at least like fighting that shit
Right.
hard. Like,
His lips quivering.
yeah, like what the fuck is up? Oh man, but nah, man, it was a good way to end it, and I'm hoping that season 3 jumps right back onto that funny train because I
Yeah.
definitely want that back.
It's very Atlanta-ish
for sure.
to me in that way.
Yeah.
Now it is, yeah. I
Because
mean, but
Atlanta, the
we
first
talked
season-
about
and
that.
Yeah, we've said that. It's so Atlanta, but even in that same way, right? The first season of Atlanta was like, I thought mad funny. And then the second season of Atlanta was like mad weird. And like there was many
Yeah.
depressing moments. There was many like
The
off
second
the
season,
wall,
Tony Perkins.
Fucking that time that there was that episode where they were like, what were they like in like weird costumes, or like they had like weird head masks on or some shit. I can't remember what exactly
Yeah.
there was. There was another episode where
Where he played Michael Jackson.
yeah, and there was another episode where he fucking I can't remember the character's name right now, but he was just like walking, like he got lost. Yeah,
Paperboy?
Paperboy got
Paperboy.
lost and was just walking by himself for an entire episode.
Yeah.
And
The
that
whole
was a
episode
mad
was all him
dramatic,
trying to-
like sad
Yeah.
episode.
And it was a good ass
It was
episode.
good, but it was just kind of like, what the fuck are
Yeah.
we watching? Like, damn, this is not what I
Yeah.
thought the show was.
Somebody with too much creative
Yeah.
freedom. That's what FX does. They know that first season hits, and they're like, do whatever the fuck you
It was
want.
kind of like, it's exactly like what Joyce said when we were going to watch the finale, because I told y'all, like, she was, of Dave, by the way, I told y'all, like, this show has been so depressing this last season that Joyce is kind of like, what the fuck are we watching? Like, I don't want, just kind of like what you said Jillian was saying, like, kind of like, why? I got enough things going on. Like, why am I watching this? But then when we went to watch the finale, I was like, it was like a toss-up between we could watch Ted Lasso, we could watch the finale of Dave. She was like, let's just start with the finale of Dave. And I was like, really? You want to watch that shit? She was like, at this point, I'm committed. Like, I got to see what the fuck happens to my dude Dave and see how shit turns out. And thankfully, I think it was a pretty dope finale.
I would have made
They know how to end a season
up.
on that show.
I would have made the choice, that same choice, because it's just like, well, if it's depressing, then I want to end on some good
Right.
shit. So let's save Lasso for a second.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, so I think that's all we got. I just want to also mention that we got the trailer for season 3 of What We Do in the Shadows was the season 3, right?
Yeah.
We got the
season 3.
trailer for that. That looks fucking dope.
great.
And they've already been greenlit for season 4. So
Yes. That's so
yeah,
dope.
so what
somebody
we doing?
saw it and they're like, "Yo, this is fire. We need another one.
Yeah,
Let's get that."
we're
That's how
definitely getting a
I
new
take
one.
that. When something is renewed before the next season comes out, it has to be
They don't even
fire.
care
Like
about
they're not
audience
going in
reaction.
blind.
They're like, this shit is
Right.
good enough.
Exactly.
No, they don't.
Yep.
Cool. So
oh wait, happy birthday, Taika. This is
yeah.
August
That's
14th
right.
is when we're
Shout
recording
out.
this. This is
That's
Taika's birthday, and we are a Taika pod, as you know.
Yep.
So happy birthday to Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
We love you, dog.
Keep coming out with that shit.
Keep bringing that heat,
Keep bringing that heat.
my
And
man.
keep fucking multiple bitches at once.
Shit,
All right,
we ain't forget about
that. We ain't forget about that. Ain't nobody. Yep, Taika Pod. All right, guys. I
right.
think that's all we got.
We got it.
Yo, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If you made it all the way through, we're still always having fucking technical difficulties, but you managed to come through every fucking week. So we appreciate you for that. Remember to have your people rate, review, subscribe. If you feel like they would enjoy this content, because we just keep getting better and better, and the shit is not gonna fucking end. We're just gonna be the #1 podcast in the world. And mark my words that I said that this early. But guys, thank you so much. We love you. Peace.